A New Mexico mother and public relations executive with a long history of volunteerism, was identified as the passenger who died on Southwest Flight 1380 after a harrowing tragedy unfolded when an engine exploded and blew out a window. She was remembered as a mentor, as a woman devoted to family, as a well-known volunteer, and as a treasure of our community. Riordan was partially sucked out of the plane's window. Cote TV identified the deceased passenger as Riordan of Albuquerque, New Mexico. She was 43 years old and a married mother of 2 children. Her husband previously worked for the city of Albuquerque. Passengers have given terrifying accounts of what happened on the Southwest plane flying from New York to Dallas before it made an emergency landing in Philadelphia. You can read various passenger accounts below and see photos and videos of the incident. Authorities confirmed that 1 passenger died, but they had not formally confirmed Riordan's name nor cause of death. Some reports said the engine blowing out hurled shrapnel at the plane window. One passenger said, from her waist above, she was outside of the plane. CNN also reported that Riordan was sucked into a hole left by a shattered window, hanging partially outside for several minutes before heroic passengers pulled her back inside. According to Cote TV, Riordan was taken to the hospital but died from her injuries. Albuquerque's mayor, Tim Keller, called Riordan a thoughtful leader who has long been a part of the fabric of our community. The New Mexico governor called her an incredible woman who put her family and community first. Riordan was in New York City on a business trip, and she had tweeted about it. Here's what you need to know. 1. Riordan was a vice president of community relations at Wells Fargo and described herself as passionate about my community, was an accomplished woman who worked for Wells Fargo as a vice president of community relations. On LinkedIn, she described herself as experienced vice president community relations with a demonstrated history of working in the financial services industry. Skilled in crisis management, nonprofit organizations, crisis communications, event management, and team building. Strong community and social services professional with a bachelor's degree focused in communications and PR from the University of New Mexico. Riordan was well known in the local media. Our newsroom is silent right now as we learn about the passing of Many of us knew her and her family well. Our story soon, wrote the managing editor at Albuquerque Business First on Twitter. Jennifer has over 25 years of community relations and communications experience and joined Wells Fargo in 2008, reads a biography for her on the United Way of Central New Mexico website. She is responsible for reputation management, volunteerism, and community involvement and supporting local and regional nonprofits, though the company's generous corporate giving program of over $2. 3 million, New Mexico, El Paso and Greater Texas. On Twitter, she described herself as proud team member. Wife, mom of two, baseball fan, wine and coffee lover, passionate about my community. Annunciation Catholic School, where Riordan's children attend school, sent out an email confirming her death, according to AbJournal. She was en route from New York when her plane experienced sick trouble, Assistant Principal Amy McCarty wrote in the email, the newspaper reported. At this point, the family needs all the prayers we can offer. The United Way site explained that Riordan worked with non-profits in New Mexico and Texas. Jennifer manages Wells Fargo employee volunteer and board service to non-profits in New Mexico and Greater Texas, working with nearly 2,400 employees in addition to representing the company on various boards in the community, and oversees the annual United Way Community Support Campaign. At Wells Fargo, she explained on LinkedIn, she was responsible for public relations, internal communications, community involvement and supporting local nonprofits, though Wells Fargo's generous corporate giving program of nearly $1 million. She continued, I manage Wells Fargo employee volunteer service to nonprofits in New Mexico by nearly 1,700 employees in addition to representing the company on various boards in the community. I plan and direct development and communication of information designed to keep the public and staff informed of Wells Fargo's accomplishments and points of view. I serve as media spokesperson for Wells Fargo in New Mexico and oversee the annual United Way Community Support Campaign for the state. Live videos and photos from passengers capture the horror inside Southwest Flight 1380 after Riordan was nearly sucked out of the plane. Some passengers reported that they thought they were going to die, and one, Marty Martinez, posted a live video that showed his terror before the airplane managed to land safely. There were also reports from passengers that a passenger suffered a heart attack and that Riordan was hit by shrapnel. Those accounts, unconfirmed by authorities, initially led to confusion about whether the lone person who died on the plane, now identified as Riordan, was the same woman who was partially pulled out of the plane window. Heroic passengers were able to hold Riordan down for 12 minutes after the force from the window threatened to pull her out. They described the plane dropping suddenly. Many feared it was the end. In one instance of heroism, a witness told CBS News that she saw a man in a cowboy hat rush to cover the broken window and that the man had a bandage around his arm after the plane landed. According to CNN, the plane descended from 31,684 feet to about 10,000 feet in a little over 5 minutes. Riordan had a bachelor's degree in organizational communications with a concentration in public relations from the University of New Mexico, 1999, and an associate's degree from Champlain College in Vermont, 1994, the United Way says. She also left behind a young family. She is a mom of Avery, 12, and Joshua, 10, and has been married to her husband Michael for 21 years, says the bio. Riordan wrote on of her husband, "My love. My life. My gift." In 2016, she wrote on thankful for this amazing man on this birthday week. Michael Riordan, you make my heart happy, you are my everything, you make me a better person. Thanks for being you. Happy birthday week. I love you. Riordan's husband was Chief Operations Officer for the city of Albuquerque, where he oversaw the operation of 11 departments, including animal welfare, aviation, cultural services, environmental health, family, and community services and municipal development, according to Albuquerque Business First. The newspaper reported that often started her workday at 4 a.m. A passenger wrote a vivid account on Instagram of what happened on the plane, saying, "Our engine that blew out at 38,000 feet. A window blew out. A man saved us all as he jumped to cover the window. Unfortunately, we lost a passenger to a heart attack." The pilot, Tammy Jo, was so amazing. She landed us safely in Philly. God sent his angels to watch over us. I actually heard someone say, "There is a God." The passenger clarified on Instagram that she is not certain whether the passenger who had a heart attack was okay or not. I was in the back of the plane. This passenger was near where the window broke open in mid-flight. I continued to hear that. But when I have asked people, no one is confirming anything, she wrote. S exact cause of death is not yet clear. The situation was chaotic, and depending on where people were seated, they have somewhat different accounts of what unfolded. Martinez also wrote, "Someone on the plane had a heart attack, and it looks like an engine blew out, then a window was blown open." We are still on the plane, and they are trying to revive a woman on the plane. He wrote, "The place is going down, and I am freaking out, and we are 3 going for a car crash landing, and we are doing down 3. Riordan was appointed by New Mexico's governor to serve as the state's commissioner of volunteer engagement and was called an extraordinary woman. Tributes poured in for Riordan, as she was well known in the Albuquerque community for helping others. "I can't believe this, so sad to hear of this news. Jennifer was an extraordinary woman who helped me immensely in my college career through the Wells Fargo Presidential Scholar Program. My condolences to her family and friends," wrote one man on Twitter. A woman wrote, "So sad to hear this tragic news." I got to meet and mentor with a few times. She was such an inspirational woman and a treasure of our community. praying for her family and friends. Served on numerous boards and in volunteer positions, one appointed by the New Mexico governor. She currently serves on the boards of Junior Achievement of New Mexico First, the Catholic Foundation and Annunciation Catholic School. The United Way biography for her reads. She was appointed by the governor of New Mexico to serve as a commissioner for the State of New Mexico Office of Volunteer Engagement and Board of Trustees for the New Mexico Natural History and Science Museum. She serves on the Living Cities Integration Initiative Council working to support entrepreneurs in New Mexico and is a member of PO Chapter 10. She was awarded the Samaritan Counseling Center's New Mexico Ethics in Business Young Leader Award along with the Entrepreneurs Leader Honor both in 2015. On LinkedIn, she stated that she served on the leadership table for a group called City Alive that has the mission to create a healthier and more stable economy, more higher-paying jobs and more income that reaches every household in Albuquerque. She also was a board member for the University of New Mexico Alumni Relations and was chair of the board of directors for Junior Achievement New Mexico, which works to inspire and prepare young people to succeed in a global economy, her page reads. The engine suffered a catastrophe mid-air and blew out a window in the plane. What happened next is horrific. According to NBC 10, the jet violently depressurized when a piece of an engine flew into and broke a window, and a female passenger was partially sucked out of the plane when the window imploded. That account came from the father of a passenger. Photos clearly show the imploded window and the damaged engine in the aircraft. One passenger, a woman, was drawn out towards the out of the plane, was pulled back in by other passengers, a passenger's father told NBC 10. My SW flight from Nekdal just blew an engine, and the window blew out mid-flight. I just saw a human being fly out of a plane 40,000 feet above. I've never been more terrified in my life, she said. Five. Southwest Airlines changed its profile picture to a broken gray heart on Twitter. Southwest Airlines changed its profile picture to a shattered gray heart and wrote, "We are deeply saddened to confirm that there is one fatality resulting from this accident." The entire Southwest Airlines family is devastated and extends its deepest heartfelt sympathy to the customers, employees, family members, and loved ones affected by this tragic event. We have activated our emergency response team and are deploying every resource to support those affected by this tragedy, wrote the Southwest Airlines statement. According to CBS News, the NTSB is looking at metal fatigue in the plane's engine and a missing engine fan blade. According to USA Today, the plane had 143 passengers and a crew of 5 on board. Southwest Airlines released a brief statement. "We are aware that Southwest Flight 1380 from New York LaGuardia to Dallas Love Field has diverted to Philadelphia International Airport," Southwest said in a statement. "We are in the process of transporting customers and crew into the terminal." A brief statement was released. The Philadelphia airport released a statement that read, "PHL update 12:35 p.m. FAA has issued ground stop for planes on the ground at other airports waiting to depart for PHL." Check flight status with your airline. Flights are departing PHL. Passengers should expect delays.